In the chill November of 1970, a time when the Norwegian woods lay blanketed in the silence of impending winter, hikers stumbled upon a scene so grisly it would perplex investigators and haunt the public imagination for decades to come. In Bergen, Norway's Isdal Valley, known ominously as Death Valley, they found the charred remains of a woman. Her identity, as well as the mysterious circumstances surrounding her death, would soon evolve into one of Scandinavia's most enduring enigmas, the case of the Isdal woman. This woman, who seemed to have materialized from nothing and returned to nothing, left behind more questions than the scorched earth upon which she was found. Her story is not just a tale of death, it is a narrative woven into the frosty fabric of Cold War espionage, Nordic noir, and the haunting loneliness of being nameless and far from home. Her case compels not only because of the puzzling clues she left behind, a series of fake passports, a coded note, disguises, but also because it challenges our comprehension of identity and existence in a world where someone could vanish into thin air, their life reduced to ashes without a whisper of their past. Within this narrative, I seek not just to chart the course of an investigation that sprawled across borders and through years, but also to capture the spectral essence of the Isdal woman, whose life and death taunt us from the shadows, urging us to remember that in every forgetting there is a story desperately struggling to be told. November 29, 1970, bore witness to a morbid discovery in the isolated, moss-draped terrain of Isdalen, Bergen. A family, trekking through the area known colloquially for its eerie quietude and as a historical site of suicides and tragic accidents in the Middle Ages, found the burnt body of a woman. Subsequent police reports described the scene as meticulously staged. Around the body were sleeping pills, bottles of petrol, and a packed lunch, painting a picture bleakly suggestive of a self-immolation. Investigators puzzled over the arrangements. Found nearby were also some partially melted plastic containers with traces of gasoline, a suggestion of premeditation that contrasted starkly with the untouched food. Disturbingly, the woman's identity-defying efforts were systematic. Labels removed from her clothes, distinctive identifying features eliminated. Autopsy findings revealed heavy doses of sleeping pills in her system and carbon monoxide in her lungs, injecting deeper layers of ambiguity into an already cryptic narrative. Speculation swirled. Was it an elaborate suicide, a staged murder, or something even more insidious? The existential starkness of her final moments, set against the dense backdrop of Norway's profound natural beauty, underscored the profound mystery of her death. In the investigation that followed, detectives unearthed a labyrinthine trail of identities. The Isdal woman had checked into various hotels across Norway using different identities, all under a false passport. Each alter ego had a background as meticulously crafted as it was fictitious, giving rise to immediate speculation about her involvement in espionage. Her suitcases, recovered from a Bergen train station locker, revealed a disturbingly vast wardrobe that would have allowed her to assume multiple guises at a moment's notice. To add to the enigmatic nature of her possessions, forensic analysis uncovered several wigs, glasses, and numerous currencies from various countries. The process of deciphering her true identity involved piecing together these fragments, each clue suggesting a life lived on the margins of multiple realities. This shadow existence brought into focus not just the woman in question, but also the societal undercurrents she navigated, where identities could be as disposable as the pages of a worn passport. Yet, for all the seeming ingenuity in her aliases, the question remained fiercely unanswerable. Who was she protecting, and what was she hiding from? Each fabricated identity introduced not clarity but further dimensions of mystery, enhancing the narrative tapestry of her cryptic life and death. In the late 1960s and early 70s, Norway, like much of Europe, found itself caught in the geopolitical tug-of-war known as the Cold War. This period was characterized by a high level of espionage activity, with Norway's strategic importance in the North Atlantic making it a significant arena for intelligence operations by both NATO and the Warsaw Pact countries. It was a time of shadows, where allegiances were obscured and trust was a commodity as rare as it was necessary. Amidst this backdrop of clandestine activities and cloaked motives, the presence of the Isdal woman in Norway posed intriguing possibilities. Her movements, the multiple identities, and international currencies found with her belongings suggested a life steeped in secrecy, potentially linked to intelligence work. This theory was further fueled by her mysterious travels across Europe, which seemed to trace the nerve centers of Cold War espionage. The Cold War context is crucial as it frames her story within a larger narrative of global intrigue, where individuals often became pawns on the chessboard of international politics. The Norway of that era was a landscape where hidden agendas flourished and where the Isdal woman might have found herself a player, willing or not, in a game much larger than any single life. The tangible remnants of the Isdal woman's existence, her belongings, serve as haunting artifacts of a life that refuses to be neatly categorized. From the suitcases retrieved at the Bergen train station, each item seemed a deliberate choice, from sophisticated disguises to a range of spectacles, each altering her appearance dramatically. More puzzling were the coded notes discovered among her possessions, a series of letters and numbers that appeared to be a sophisticated cipher, or perhaps a record of her travels. Forensic experts and cryptologists pored over these notes, attempting to unlock the secrets they held. Each breakthrough seemed to lead only to further questions. Was this code a schedule of meetings, a list of past contacts, or something entirely different? These items, silent yet eloquent, spoke of a life lived on the edge of detection, a ghostly presence flitting from one identity to another. The meticulous removal of labels and manufacturing marks from her clothing and items underscores a profound intent to remain untraceable, highlighting a professional-level commitment to anonymity. This anonymity was her armor, her shield against a world where she was perhaps both hunter and hunted. Given the Cold War setting and her array of espionage-like tactics, it is plausible to consider the Isdal woman as a spy caught in the intricate web of European intelligence. Her untraceable movements, multiplicity of identities, and possessions suggestive of covert activities paint a picture of a person deeply embedded in the world of espionage. Experts on Cold War espionage have pointed out the typical modus operandi of spies during this period, which often included behaviors very much like those exhibited by the Isdal woman: travel under assumed identities, use of dead drops, encrypted communication. The question arises then, if she was a spy, who did she work for? The lack of direct evidence linking her to any known intelligence agency only deepens the mystery, leaving room for endless speculation. The echo of espionage not only shapes our understanding of her activities, but also colors the possible interpretations of her death. Was it an assassination, a failed escape, or perhaps a defection gone wrong? Each theory suggests a different story, a different alignment in the shadowy world of Cold War spies. The use of disguises by the Isdal woman suggests a deep understanding of the art of deception. She was not merely changing outfits, but transforming identities. Each wig, each pair of glasses found among her belongings was part of a carefully curated arsenal designed to obscure her true self. These disguises hint at a life in constant flux, a chameleon existence where adaptation and camouflage were necessary for survival. Whether evading detection or infiltrating new environments, her disguises were both a shield and a tool, essential components of her mysterious undertakings. The variety and sophistication of these disguises raise further questions about the level of training she might have received and the entities capable of such instruction. It points to a professional backdrop, potentially governmental or para-governmental, equipped to indoctrinate individuals in such specialized skills. The coded notes found among the Isdal woman's belongings are perhaps the most cryptic and tantalizing pieces of the puzzle. These ciphers, written in a seemingly impenetrable code, suggest a life lived under the strictest protocols of secrecy and deception. Cryptologists and amateur sleuths alike have tried to decode these messages, hoping to uncover a narrative thread that could lead to understanding her movements or intentions. Decoding these messages, however, has proven difficult. The complexity of the ciphers hints at professional training, possibly within an intelligence agency, which raises the stakes in understanding who she was and what her mission might have been. The use of such sophisticated methods of communication points to operations that required absolute discretion and possibly high risk. The existence of these ciphers not only deepens the mystery, but also frames her life as one of constant vigilance, where every move and message had to be carefully shielded from unintended eyes. This aspect of her story highlights the precarious nature of living a life shrouded in codes and secrets. The investigation into the death of the Isdal woman has been fraught with dead ends and frustrations for the police and detectives involved. Each clue seemed to lead only to more questions, with leads fizzling out as quickly as they appeared. The international scope of the case, with ties potentially leading across various borders, only added layers of complexity to an already convoluted investigation. Efforts to identify her through dental and genetic analysis have met with limited success, hindered by the limitations of the technology of the time and the thoroughness with which she erased her identity. Police reconstructed her movements across Europe, but were unable to connect these travels to any concrete motive or purpose. The lack of closure in the investigation has not only been a source of professional frustration, but has also fed into the larger mythos of the case, transforming the Isdal woman into a figure of intrigue and speculation in the annals of unsolved mysteries. The case of the Isdal woman has captivated public imagination and media alike, morphing into a cultural phenomenon that extends far beyond the typical crime story. Books, podcasts, and documentaries have all attempted to unravel the mystery, each adding their own layer of narrative and speculation. This fascination reflects a deeper cultural allure with the unknown and the mysterious. The Isdal woman, with her enigmatic past and her tragic end, serves as a canvas onto which we project our fears and curiosities about identity, espionage, and the shadowy interstices of international politics. The media portrayal of her story also raises questions about our consumption of such mysteries. What is it that draws us to these unresolved narratives, and what does this say about our wider cultural and psychological landscapes? Over the years, numerous theories have been proposed about the identity and fate of the Isdal woman. These range from the plausible to the fantastical, including theories that she was a spy caught between warring intelligence agencies, a criminal on the run, or even a victim of a complex conspiracy. Each theory sheds light on different aspects of her life and death, yet each also falls short of providing a conclusive answer. The speculative nature of these theories only adds to the enigma, making the Isdal woman a perpetual mystery, her true story possibly as elusive as ever. This multiplicity of theories not only demonstrates the complexity of the case, but also underscores the human desire to find answers, to solve puzzles, and to make sense of the inexplicable. Attempting to construct a psychological profile of the Isdal woman is an exercise in speculative psychology. However, It can offer insights into her possible motivations and state of mind. Her meticulous planning and systematic erasure of identity suggest a person who is intensely private, perhaps paranoid and accustomed to a life of constant movement and disguise. The loneliness inherent in such a life, coupled with the stress of maintaining multiple identities, could have had profound psychological impacts. These factors might have influenced her final actions, whether her death was a choice or forced upon her by circumstances. This psychological angle helps humanize the Isdal woman, providing a window into the emotional and mental toll that her lifestyle may have exacted, offering a poignant glimpse into the human aspects of this enduring mystery. The case of the Isdal woman remains open and unresolved, a testament to the complexities and limitations of forensic and investigative sciences. Despite the passage of time, the interest in her case continues, spurred on by technological advances in forensic science and new investigative techniques. Future investigations may one day provide the answers that have so long eluded those who have delved into her story. Until then, the Isdal woman remains an emblem of the unresolved and unsettling mysteries that linger in the shadowy corners of our understanding. Her story is a reminder of the indelible human desire to know, to uncover the truth, and to remember those who have passed into the realm of mystery, ensuring that they are not forgotten, even in the absence of a name.